Oh, and I think we are live. We got people paying
Oh,
attention to us. Mike, by the way, Mike, are you able to look at the comments now?
yes, now I
I,
am.
I want you to be highlighting the comments tonight because we got some great people here. Uh,
Okay.
well, actually, we don't have anybody. Okay, there we go. We got Benjamin Whitcomb in the house.
We got Antoine Zinn, Twin
So,
Mafia as always.
yep, and because it's me running the show, and because you guys haven't seen me for a while, hey, Mike,
Yay, Dave.
I got a riddle for it. I got a trivia question for you.
Okay.
Do you know what Stephen Hawking's last words were?
No. Roll
It's
the
Thursday,
footage.
folks. You know what that means.
Fab Studios presents Figure Action.
Click the videos. Click the
Bring it up, bring it up, bring it, bring it, bring it up.
Right.
Wow.
Dave's in charge. Dave's hijacking it to be my show. This ain't just a figure action, folks. This is an impromptu figure reaction.
Oh my.
We got
Okay.
hostile
All right.
takeover. That's right. I snuck into all their places. I chloroformed them all. No, that isn't right because if anything horrible happens to them, all of a sudden I might need to get an alibi. It's
All right. Well, what's going on, everyone?
it's good to see you guys. I know I've been out for a little bit, a little bit of mental health going on. Plus, of course, the real world is going on right now. As I put it, there's enough drama going on,
Mhm.
all over about everything. So appreciate the good things you got going on with you in life is all I can say. And don't add to other people's drama because you never know what they're going through.
Yes.
Doesn't
Very
matter
true.
what toys you buy, what wrestling you watch, whatever.
Absolutely.
If that couple's next to you while you're at the Beetlejuice musical, and that one couple's next to you and they're getting their grope on. Oh wait, that was only in Colorado, and that was just funny to watch. But I digress.
Yeah.
It's Thursday.
All right,
We're here to talk about some toys. It's me, Trustarscreamer, my distinguished partner this evening, Mr. Mike of Junkie on Crafts and Builds.
Good evening, good sir, and good evening to everyone. Benjamin, good news to hear that Dreadwing is great. I'm glad you got him.
That is awesome. I held him in my hands. I couldn't do the $53 myself, but everyone who's gotten him has said very good things about him.
Very cool. Well, on that, did you get anything this week then, Dave?
Technically this week, no, I haven't. But much like everybody else, all the Joes were sent to me.
Yeah, I can understand.
The only other things I can say I've purchased that I've received in my house as of note, which if you do pay attention to my channel, is I did get the Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Wolverine, which I haven't bought a Marvel Legend in a while, and that figure is an absolute excellent figure. Please check my channel and catch the review. But if you do not own any Wolverines, that is absolutely the Wolverine to get right now.
It is actually very good. It's a decent line. I mean, I picked up Bishop and I picked up Rogue. To me, out of all of them that I've seen but not held, Bishop is the standout for this wave. But Wolverine looks fantastic as well. And like you said, if you didn't have one, he can fit in. His animated look is subtle enough that he mixes well with the regular lines.
I would definitely say from that 97 line, I would say the Bishop, the Wolverine, and the Rogue would probably be the three I would buy. If you want to get the Magneto, just because he's got a little more definition to it, Then I'd go the Storm, and the Gambit I think is pretty much passable, personally.
Okay. Yes. So
What I
well,
am
it
hoping
sounds
for, though, is that they release that animated Cyclops in a non-cell shaded form for the next wave of it.
very cool. Hopefully, the show comes out in January. So
Yes.
we'll see how it goes. All right.
Did
Well,
you get anything cool though?
I got a couple things. I won't say they're all cool. And this is kind of like the last big haul before Legion's Con. But Ollie's and Ross this week. I hit them and found a bunch of stuff for cheap. But the highlight was finding another stalker for $5.99 at Ross. Ooh. So he's going to be great for kit bashing. I also found, surprisingly, because I'm not a Black Series collector, but I did find the Mercenary Garb Hunter, because of all the characters that look really cool. This guy's face sculpt is amazing looking, and the deco on it. And he, with a little love, he could definitely fit into any of the other action figure lines that I got going on here. Like you said, Joe Wise, Tiger Force Duke came in. Not bad. I mean, I said Duke, good Lord, Flint. So if you got the first Flint, you're not missing much other than the new deco, which the orangish copper shirt is not as bad as what I was expecting. And only one weapon's really gummy, and that's the Recondo gun. And we already knew that was undersized and whatnot.
The Tiger Force subline is not bad, and it looks good as an independent display unto itself.
Then that's exactly it. They're good on their own, so I have no complaints over them. But what I do have a complaint is his counterpart that came out, the other Target exclusive, Vipra, whatever her name is. She's rushed and cheap and not good in my opinion. The arms, as you shown in your review and what we talked about with T-Man, there is definitely a lot of QC stuff happening lately within the Classified series line in regards to their joints and getting some extra glue in places where there shouldn't be. So I think I have to do what T did and really perform surgery on her one arm just to get her to do to do a 90 degrees. But her backpack is gummy as all hell. It actually took me a while to get the backpack to stick onto her back before it showed stress marks. Other things.
She uses the Zorana arms.
Mm-hmm. And we know how kind of that went through as well.
Yeah.
For Legends, and because I'm a moron, I picked up a good one, which is Kingpin. And I say good in the fact that Vincent D'Onofrio's face sculpt is very, very nice, but he's super pale, and like everything else, there's no paint on this figure at all other than on his face and his cane. So a little bit of love, a little bit of shading, he'll be okay. What is absolute trash, and I tell you, chat guys, if you pick this up, I will find you and take it out of your hands. Do not buy this piece of shit toy. This is the Nick Fury Secret Invasion, and it is not even worth it. It's not even 5 points of articulation because of this schmuck that they put over him that you call a jacket. Not good at all. Not worth it. His feet, the tension on his legs when they're not gummy is not good at all. So please save yourself $25. Save yourself $7 when this hits clearance in Target, and don't buy it.
But it's got a Build-A-Figure piece, man. I can't get my Hydra Stomper without it.
No, you can't. Unless you have some idiot like me that buys this and says, "Hey, do you want the Build-A-Figure piece?" I'll send it to you. No, McLaren, they don't go away, unfortunately, because the way the plastic is, the way that the type of plastic that's used for some of these backpacks, and I noticed it with like Range Viper. Again, it's because the weapons and how they probably are building it out in bulk. It's just not great. But big figure that came. This one was a while to me to pull the trigger on, and I haven't opened it yet, which kind of goes into something here. But for Dave, and this guy arrived. So this is, I don't know which one it is. If you guys don't know, this is the Memory Toys Berserker. It's supposed to be the War Bear.
Big Bad Toy Store freaking charged me a non-refundable deposit when I ordered him.
Yes. Well, I ordered this guy off of Amazon. They come in 3 different. There's supposed to be 2 different colors with a option for a 3rd color. So I picked the brown. So I'm hoping that's what this is. But I'm not going to hold up our talk anymore because we got a lot of guys in here. Hopefully, we want to get some comments going. But I'm going to open this up, and I want to see which one it is. I'm praying it's the one I wanted, but if not, we'll see. Anyway, so guys, besides Benjamin, who picked up Dreadwing, did you guys get anything this week? So put that in the chat.
Yeah, let us know. Give us some interaction here. So tonight's episode is going to be a little different. New York, we're going to talk. It's going to be very light on news because New York Comic-Con is going on right now. And like, for example, Hasbro is at the Marvel booth, so they're not doing anything too crazy there. All they did was bring in the Giant Man. Spoilers, it's only about 51% there, so we're not even going to check on that.
It's 5,700 backers. I already checked for us.
So exactly, see, we're on top of this stuff here because he and I we are the elite here. This is all elite toy.
No, but there's a lot of stuff going on this week. Our friends Meta Travelers, they are also at Comic-Con this weekend, so they brought a lot of their prototypes and paint masters. So it's very cool. Wow.
Let me get on Instagram real quick. They put an awesome picture up. INST Instagram and then Meta Travelers. Yeah. They put a great picture up of the Void Walker. Was it
the Eternal Guard? Is the one if you're looking for you're talking the gold and white?
No.
The Void Walker is the the assassins. Anyway, McClowering, I'm glad you got Veritor. I have him here. I still haven't taken him out of the box. And you got Firefly, so hopefully you can tell us, did you get the first version as well? And do you prefer the version 2 over the first one? So
I'm going to throw this one up really quick here. If you guys are not into if you guys were like curious about Cosmic Legions and didn't buy Cosmic Legions, like this guy here, again, talking with the Meta Travel guys was an absolutely awesome thing. But this picture right here of the Void Walker, they're working with the 4 Horsemen. All this guy is doing something that no 4 Horsemen figure I've seen can do, and that is this excellent, gorgeous, tight crouch right here. I mean, the arm here looks like it's going past 90 degrees. This is a great knee bend. Whoever took this picture, I mean, this almost looks like something an Unparalleled Universe would do. I mean, it's just a simple black background with a purple with purple lighting, but it just absolutely shows this figure off beautifully.
Yeah, all these figures look really, really good. And there's 4 days left on the Kickstarter, guys. And what we found out last week, which Matt brought up, is that they put out a thing saying if you order through the Kickstarter, you are guaranteed to get your figures first. I mean, Big Bad is backing them. I think Nerdzoic is. I know Hella Dope Toys is also providing retail pre-orders. But you're gonna get the cheapest price from the Kickstarter right now. So.
Here's the Eternal Guard figure we talked about. This guy has got main character vibes like nobody's business. Like, I'm expecting to hear the chorus singing in Latin. I'm expecting for to beat this guy easy first, and all of a sudden the music kicks up, and all of a sudden, oh god, here's the real game. Like, this is full Final Fantasy vibes here in all the right ways.
Yeah, so it looks really good.
Exciting stuff here. I mean, we were. This guy looks so stupid. I think I must have him now. These colors are great. They look beautiful in person. It's a good funny thing to get. But yeah, I mean, they're showing a lot of good stuff on there. So I just had to go through my list of what I have for my backing and start picking and choosing here soon, because the 15th is when they start taking everything out of my wallet. But anyhow. Yep.
So yeah.
So it's just again, we're kind of free throwing it, free forming it tonight. I know these guys are currently either wrapping up or still on with Kato right now. But the Cyberzoic figure line, this is another Kickstarter. I was looking through this. I have not backed this one. It looks absolutely phenomenal, but it fortunately is asking for two things that I do not have a lot of, which is not only money, but shelf space. Like, these are things you got to consider, guys. I mean, this is... I'm not going to go through everything on here. Definitely check this out. But I mean, this is a full Allosaurus here. And then it's got the Sky Sled that becomes the battle armor for it. I mean, this is like mixing Dino Riders with He-Man with some Sectors in it. Like, oh god, this is a little bit of Zoids, I guess. I mean,
and it's all very it's super detailed. Looks like 1/18 scale. You know.
I kind of dig how they're doing this, because if you didn't want to buy the battle armor thing, you didn't want the thing, you can just buy the dinosaur or the creature.
Yep.
At first I was like, why are they doing it separate? But I like this because this actually allows them not to alienate their audience. Now it might play a little havoc with their inventory later down the line, but
yeah. But that's why it's good to start as a Kickstarter with that option, because you can always not do that if they get picked up at retail and whatnot. You just kind of have the whole set for $100 and call it good.
But I mean, that right there is almost a $279,000 with 861 backers. That means the average. This is an interesting thing to do. The average person who is backing this project, the average purchase is $325 per person per backer.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I think that's I think one of the campaign things, you can go all in, and I forget what that price actually is, but it's probably close to what the backer is.
Well, it's all in on the core stuff, and that was like it's $450.
Okay,
but then
that dragon looks awesome.
Yeah, but then they have the unlocks. Like, this is, I chill a better. I can't say that. I don't want to say it, but I think this is probably my favorite because of the armor being the Hellhound. You know,
yeah,
it's like 3 toys in one. So.
No, that's really good though. I mean, again, it's got 20 days to go, so we'll see. And Dave, are you ready for this?
You got the goddamn panda.
I got the fucking panda. Well, that brightens up the mood a little bit, because that's the one that's like the 10% chance of getting it. So
for those who are not into the independent toy scene with Memory Toys specifically, with this War Bear thing, you either could buy the Black Bear, which is what I ordered, or the Brown Bear, which is kind of like Ursa Major. But the Panda Bear is a substitution chase figure that you don't know if you're going to get or not. So
yeah, all I can say is this guy's paws are just huge. So
I am jealous.
All right, well, now it's one more thing for the backlog, which I'm sure leads into what you want to talk about tonight, man.
Yes, I mean, for toy news, guys? Like I said, there's not much. Probably the closest thing I want to say, that's probably the only closest thing I'm going to talk for toys is for Transformers. Fans Hobby has got their a repaint of Dreadwing, of their Hydra Stomp or whatever.
Is that the only exclusive that's been talked about for TFCon right now?
No, Make Toys is using their it makes me sad to say that how that's their secret mold is breaking down, but they are doing a slipstream using the thrust body.
Oh.
But unfortunately that is showing mold degradation big time, which is sad because I really liked the Make Toys Seekers to begin with way back when. God, I can't believe it's way back when. And then New York with the New York Comic Con going on right now. Hasbro did bring their Giant Man there. Thomas Nations. We're not going to go through everything, but this Spider-Man is looking really good. They're Ultraman. If you watch the Ultraman animated series, they've got on Netflix. They got figures out for that. Probably of all the stuff, the Spider-Man 2099 from Into the Spider-Verse does look pretty dope with these hard ridges in here. And after that, Berserk stuff. I mean, this is all in Toy Arc. We're going to be talking about this in the next coming topic, by the way. Just specifically, this King Kong. Why they brought this there, I don't know. That came out years ago. But
so Benjamin brings up the Spider-Man 2 game. Is that out yet, or does it
not yet?
Or is it not yet? Okay. Looks good. I played the first one. I mean, it was really good.
Oh yeah. Well, I played the first one, and I played the 1.0, the 1.5, the Miles Morales game.
Oh, okay. I didn't play that one because it had to be PS5, I thought. So now I only have a 4. Damn.
I paid this year for the PS Plus Extra, and it's one of the games in the catalog for that.
Okay. Benjamin says on the 20th. So yeah, right before TFCon, guys.
Why do we think this isn't getting funded? I don't want to say it's from negative campaigners because it's not. This is nowhere near anything as bad as the Engine of Vengeance. I personally think it comes down to... Actually, it goes back to why I wasn't buying the dinosaurs, personally. It's not only money, but shelf space. We've had the last 3 major successful Hasbro Kickstarters. So you had the Sentinel and Galactus. Those are already massive pieces. So my God, my Sentinel fell.
Really?
I just noticed that. You've got to be fucking kidding me.
Do we need a pause?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, no worries. So while he's doing that, why do I think Giant Man isn't being funded? Well, I think it's timing, for one thing, because you just finished a Black Series ship that was $300 some that actually kind of struggled at the end to make all the stretch goals. And while people are, I think the figure itself looks nice. I also consider the stretch goals pointless. It's with the faces and the antenna. It's not blocking. It's not figures being blocked, which I'm happy for, but it's also just, like I said, it's timing. I think a lot of feedback in regards to what a lot of websites and groups have talked about in saying that, this could have been a standard purchase. You okay? Your eyes look a little big.
Yeah, I didn't even know that thing had fallen. And I'm just like, yeah, all my X-Men are everywhere right now.
Okay. Well, as long as everything's okay with it.
Yeah, he's intact. He's intact. That's the big thing.
Okay. All right. But yeah, it's just, I think it's lackluster stretches. Will it fund? I think it may be one of those 11th hour stretches.
I think it's going to be like Unicron, where as you said, 11th hour, the big bad toy store orders are going to come in. I think it's not bad.
No, but it's also
not amazing.
Yeah, it's So I didn't back it. I don't have an intention to, not because it's bad, but just I have money I'd rather put elsewhere.
That's the other big thing. Dave's okay.
So
in some ways, this is a big thing. Interest in Marvel is going down. Marvel Legends, I don't want to say they've been burning themselves out, but you can only get. I hate saying this. You get so many Iron Men, so many Spider-Man, so many Wolverines, so many Captain Americas,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it just feels like they're stagnant. They're not improving anything. I think it's kind of a shame because the Giant Man itself as an action figure, I think, is a very good action figure. And I don't disagree with something like this being a Kickstarter, as weird as it is, because I think it worked, or crowdfunding, because I think it's perfect that the people who want it should be getting it just because of crap distribution.
Mm-hmm.
One, I think their goals were set too high. I think they put too high of a minimum for it. And
For
as you said,
10,000.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, considering what Star Saber was that 8?
exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's reasonable. So
I mean,
Yeah.
the price was reasonable. I think the scale they thought the giant man scale is off.
I mean, I can see a lot of people saying that, but I think it's for, again, dealing with space. It's the best compromise you could get. He can't be bigger than Galactus or as big as Galactus.
But he's
And I,
yeah.
Do I think it's like the Rancor? I don't think it's bad, Benjamin. I think a lot of people just saw the Rancor, and this is kind of Black Series overall, which is why they went back, I think, and did vintage collection stuff. It just wasn't. I don't think it was appealing for the price for what you were getting. The Reva star or lightsaber, that was a waste to begin with. I mean, that could have been the whole thing. Like, oh, we saw the proton pack for the Ghostbusters work, so it will work for everything. And obviously that failed horribly. So
I think they would have done better if they didn't call it Reva's lightsaber, as weird as it is. I think if they packaged it just as the Inquisitor's lightsaber and just done that as a mass release, that would have gone better.
Yeah. Well, Titan, that is part of the story and history with Giant Man. There's been a lot of times where heroes have had a lot of dark sides with them, and then you change writers and things are redeemed. So yeah, and especially with the Ultimate Avengers, that was a whole different universe at the time, and then it just got mixed, and his wife got eaten anyway. So
Thank you, Jeff Loeb.
yeah. So there's that. Yeah, that I don't know if there's a way that anyone's going to match what they did before. It's just the appeal. We saw a lot of success because there was the crowd funds were items that people wanted. G.I. Joe has been a huge success because the line is giving older collectors what they want in regards to iterations that match nearly one for one with what we grew up with. And it's the idea of vehicles, which is a big part of the G.I. Joe line to begin with. And
here's the interesting thing, though. The G.I. Joe line has one thing that none of the other lines have.
What's that?
A direct competitor. Maybe not a direct competitor. Let me phrase that, because I don't want to say they're the same scale as competition, because they're not fighting for shelf space.
Right.
But they don't have a foil to be like, anything you can do, I can do better with. Or
yeah, because I mean, you don't. There's no real big superhero line alternate around
at that scale, at the same scale. That's the big thing.
Correct.
I mean,
and unless you're strictly collecting Batman, that's all that you're really going to get. Per se.
Says, Marvel has the DC foil. It does and it doesn't. McFarlane figures are not in scale with the Hasbro figures. And yes, I am talking Valaverse. Valaverse, with the whole Valaverse G.I. Joe thing, the fans have won. Okay, I'm not going to say one line is better than the other. In fact, I think where one line, there's some things one line doesn't do as well as the others.
Mhm.
I got those female army builders figures. My God, those are the damn tightest joints ever. I can't have fun posing them. I'm just saying, like, that's the thing. I'm going to say it. That is something they are not doing well. Bobby, I know you listen to every piece of criticism. Every piece of criticism gets funneled back to you. I'm still going to spend my money with you, so I'm not trash talking you. But God damn it, the female joints are absolutely horrible. On the other hand, Hasbro weapons are gummy as hell. If you are not buying some Valver's weapon packs, you are doing yourself a disservice. But they go well together. Like I can use Valver's weapons on Joe figures. Some Joe accessories go great with the others. They help each other improve.
No, it's like everything. It's like we talked about before in one of your other reactions. These companies are all, to a point, they all get together. I mean, there's the New York Comic Con is going to be a prime example. These companies get together because, in all honesty, they're in the same business. They get along. What really drives the spike between everything is the community, the fans, the consumers. That mentality of, if it's not Coke, it's Pepsi, and that's about it. We all fall for it. We all engage with it in some way, shape, or form, or it's all in our collecting world, for good or ill. And
I should make like a photo of Condor making out with Duke just to piss off everybody.
Sure, if that's what you want to do, sure. Or just do another review, or be like, or don't be like me and get like 16 behind. But yeah, but that kind of goes into the whole thing that with me and you, per se, in regards to what we do as a way to supplement our collecting habits is putting our opinions out there in the little intranet world.
So so before the show started, guys, I hit Mike with a question. I know some of you guys in the chat, and I don't know if Cerrone Games is in here. I know every now he's or Hot Cheeto Fingers. I know those guys are guys who do reviews as well. Oh, we know Bobby doesn't get along with Hasbro.
No, yeah, but that's easy.
But I know some of you guys do reviews as well. And the question I was asking is, we started out as collectors, and then just one day, what the hell? I'm going to throw a video up there, and kind of got into being a reviewer.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate all 17 of you guys who actually watch my reviews. Let me tell you, I appreciate all 17 of you. Well, 15 of you, 16 of you, because Mike's over here.
There you go.
Not saying I'm a popular reviewer, but
right. The fact you're doing it is what counts.
Getting into the idea of that one, does that affect not only your collecting habits, but also your purchasing habits?
Mm-hmm.
And not even the purchasing habits, but sometimes even just getting to your stuff. Like, I've got a goddamn backlog because I don't want to open a box unless I review it. But as I'm reviewing stuff, I buy more stuff. But then I buy things strictly just for reviewing it. Like, I'm holding this guy here. This is the Nada Toys, the Flame Warrior guy right here. I haven't put him in my display case because I still want to review him, even though because I just thought it would be a cool figure to have on my channel, not even to own, but just to have on my channel.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike, how has this affected you since you've now hit that 1 year anniversary? Congratulations.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. It's
cool. You bought a bear.
I got a bear, and it wasn't even the bear I wanted, but that's kind of been part and parcel of how this year has been. I started out with one goal, and then realized that time is a precious thing, and what helps with that is instant gratification by getting something and getting it in the mail or finding it at the store, and you're like, oh well, I want to put my opinion out on it, so I do that. And then that kind of goes into like, well, now there's been some interest, and then I'm like, well, I really like this line. love Alverse. Well, then you start, it starts, like you said, piling up. And you're like, okay, well, I got to get this. Well, now it's like when I was picking and choosing at first, but now people like what I do in regards to this line. So now I got to get everything. I got to get that next group of series of figures. And then it does snowball into like, oh, well, talking amongst ourselves, these independent lines, maybe that's something different because, yeah, we all say this is tough and we don't like this, or, well, we know each month there's going to be a group in the community that's going to be pulling out their towels because this next figure came out, and then the pitchforks the next month because the other one comes out. Aw.
Thank you.
Very cool. And McLaren, man, it's good that you have been a steadfast commenter on both of our stuff, and we really appreciate your time. But yeah, it has affected in regards to, I have bought a lot of stuff this year, and some of it has been instant regrets. Other things have been like a slow burn, like, I'll get one or something. And now it's like the rabbit hole of, Legion's Con is coming up. So, I mean, that's a line. And it can be really challenging. I'll say it's been challenging for me this year because it's very easy for collectors to start getting more and more stuff, even if they're not showing an interest, because your peers or people that you trust are saying, hey, this is actually good, or hey, this isn't good. You can't find things the way you want. If you're a Joe fan, we all know the history where you couldn't find anything for the longest time. And then you pre-order stuff that's supposed to be at the end of the year. And now I got an indicator, or I got an email this morning saying Tripwire is going to be shipping soon from Hasbro Pulse. That was supposed to be December 1st. And it's now going to be, the middle of this month. So, I mean, that's a challenge too, in regards to your time and effort, because as anyone else in our hobby, if you want to say our curricular collecting habit, editing takes time, filming takes time, and then family comes first. And sometimes that pushes everything to the right. So
big thing, and as weird as it's like, my videos for the whole up until the last couple ones, I would do a whole series of photography. I love doing the photography, but since I got so much stuff, since I would have doing a video would be a 2-day thing. One day shooting the video and taking the photos would be day one, and then editing the photos and then editing the video would be another day, and they might not be the same right after each other just because of how work is. Yeah,
and you get I spent $50 at Michael's the other day just because I wanted to buy some themed stuff for Halloween photos. So that's something that normally I wasn't doing. And Ben, yes, you're right. Budgeting is key for any sort of hobby if you want to continue doing it in the long run. But when you start doing this, pre-ordering is easy, yes, and especially for those, you start picking the sites that says, oh, well, you don't have to worry about paying now. You just pre-order it. You'll be okay until it comes through all at once, like Hasbro. Yeah, and I think another thing for us as collecting and putting things up on YouTube, the algorithm is not your friend.
Oh God,
time is not your friend either. Getting just the attention is hard, and sometimes you're like, oh well, all right, now if I try this thing this way or whatnot, starting up a YouTube channel, while relatively simple, there are hidden costs that you don't really anticipate if you want to improve on your craft. Starting out with like free stuff for editing is great. But then you're like, I got this damn watermark I can't get rid of, or I can't get this right cut because I didn't buy the plan. So then you go and buy editing software.
or just your computer isn't powerful enough for it.
Yeah. But I mean, it sounds. I'm not trying to sound negative with it. It is the good side about that is you are willing to try things, and I would not have gone into a lot of the indie stuff if it wasn't for just wanting to try it out and watching your peers and people you trust putting a video out on it, and you're like, damn, that's really cool. You know, like Veteran William. I watched your video and I'm still sitting there like, man, I want to try this guy so bad. I don't know where I'm going to put him, but he'd be great taking a couple pictures with beating up some vipers and some.
That's the thing.
Some swarm.
Exactly. It's you find yourself. I mean, when I first got into photography, I was buying figures just because it would be fun to photograph. Like, I saw a guy take the photo, and I'm like, I want to take that photo, even though I'm looking at the photo.
Yeah. And it's cool when you get that buzz. It's another form of dopamine. I mean, we all get it when we go out and buy something. And yeah, Aquatech, you're right. Good tools cost money. Collecting costs money. We have to be realistic about that. Nothing's free, and if you are a completionist, then you already have that in your head. Like, this is what I want to do. It's the dedication to sometimes stay in your lane, and if you were like, I am strictly this brand for this line, all right, great.
Like, questions I've always wanted to ask other reviewers. One of my favorite guys was Balt Matrix. Meeting him a couple times was a great thing up in Baltimore. And I've been as hardcore watching his stuff as I used to be, but he would be buying figures and just trashing them. And then the question I always be wondering is, do reviewers buy figures knowing that it's a bad figure just to put a video out there to say this is a bad figure?
Oh.
Like a Nick Fury figure that has a jacket that limits every piece of articulation.
I hope that is not the case. There's enough stuff going on, like you said, with certain things.
Oh, we're going to talk about this. This is coming up, actually.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
I don't think the intent is there. I also say circumstances only happen once. But no, I don't think the people that we know, the people that I follow, I don't think they go out to try and purposely create something just to trash. Because if that is the case with that person, I don't watch that person. There's no need for that. There's enough jackasses who have a one shtick line where it's like, oh, this is always bad. And you don't need that. So,
but it's like,
I mean, I think
the Combiner Wars era, when Transformers was hitting the Combiner Wars era, and it went from Chug to Combiner Wars, and that all of a sudden that's where the waffles kicked in. That's when a lot of people. It was a defining moment in the hobby, as an example.
Yeah.
It felt almost that people were buying them just like, I don't know how many people bought the Stunticon set just to say how horrible the Menasor combination was. Like that's like again, like you bought that. For me, what was it? When the Captain Marvel wave came out and they had that Talos figure who had a jacket very similar to that Nick Fury one, I'm looking at it going, why am I going to buy this when I know it's going to be a horrible figure?
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I mean, all right. I'll put myself out on blast for this stuff because I know, as many people have seen, I am critical of a third-party company. And that has been a bane for some people's side for as long as I can have been collecting. But a lot of that shit is mostly just that it's just talking crap. I still buy their shit.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, I like I just said here, this guy hasn't even been out of the box yet, but I have him. And what did some of us say? Well, why do you have it why do you buy it? Because I want to at least see if it's a good figure or not. And if I don't like it, I know there's going to be someone who wants it.
This is true right here. You should be critical of anything you paid for. That's healthy.
Yeah. True.
I mean, like I say that in my reviews. I paid for them. I paid for it. That was my ability to. That was me paying admission to being able, not to say to trash it, but to talk everything I want about it. Because I paid for it. It's not that it wasn't given to me or it wasn't being borrowed. It wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
The company still got my money.
Yeah.
Now
it's but if you take that, it becomes quickly. It quickly turns sour if it becomes to a point where if there's a disagreement, it becomes personal attacks. Whether it's the other individual that disagrees with you, you start talking about their physical appearance or their family or things like that. That's Bullshit that irritates me about a brand or two. But that's not what we're talking about tonight. No. This is not supposed to be a downer. I mean, we got 19 people here. I want to listen to what's going on.
Well, like you and I, we are not the tribal. Okay, now we're just talking tribalism here, which is going to be a whole different thing. I guess the initial question was, should reviewers buy a figure that they know is horrible just to put a video out there to say that it's horrible? Not saying to trash a brand, but like I am not going to buy. Oh, what's a good example to keep things down the middle here? Those Bandai AXT things. You see them in Target right now. They're they're smaller than 6 inches, but they're not quite 3 3/4. I know those joints are junk. I know that they can't stand on their own. I'm not going to buy one just to say it's a horrible figure.
Right.
I'm not going to buy a McFarlane. I'm not going to buy a McFarlane Seven Deadly Sins figure because I know that thing's a piece of junk.
Yeah. And to interrupt real quick, Ridiculous Badger, you're right. And I will say it took me a little while to do that because just like sports, when you got your favorite team and you got someone who's on the rival team, it can quickly turn childish. And I was in a bad point at one time in this collection, and the best thing that I did was just not engage anymore. Mm-hmm. Because it makes you look stupid.
Very much so.
So, but I mean, trying to go back with the original topic. It's, while it may prove cumbersome, I still like doing it, and that's kind of the funny and sad thing about it is that there's the challenge is whether it's all right. Well, now I got all these pre-orders coming at once, and the wife is asking why there's boxes every day, but it's one of those things, and I think we all feel it. It's getting that in hand. It's going out on that hunt. It's watching that reviewer that you trust show off something you're like, man, I was on the fence with it, but now I want it. I really do want to see it. And it's hard to walk away from that unless you lose all your passion for it, or life makes it where you have to make the decision. And then it's toys versus family. McLaren, she does love panda bears. I just don't know if she'll like this one as much. But I'm also talking about my wife, who had a period where she was wanting Funko Pops. and thankfully we're out of that phase. Fingers crossed. We still got a Toy Expo next month, so that's where she got them all last year. But I mean, we've been rambling. I mean, what do you guys in the chat? I mean, we're talking about something we've talked about in a previous reaction was tribalism, drama in the toy community. We've been seeing a lot of that lately across many brands, and it's part of anything in life. Unfortunately, we're seeing that go across the board with things, and it sucks that it comes into an area in our lives that we are supposed to find some sort of peace, some sort of serenity, some sort of joy of recapturing.
These are my escapes. Yeah, this is our escape. We come home from work. We get the boss who drives you nuts, the customer who drives you nuts, that coworker who keeps chewing with his mouth open, the stupid things like that. So you're supposed to code out that you deal with the shipping or whatever you deal with in life. But I can come downstairs, I can grab an action figure. I've got complete control over this guy. I can put on some lo-fi music and just zen out. I don't need to. Going and setting up a photo shoot. I mean, that's a relaxing thing. It can be somewhat stressful too when you're trying to figure out a technique on doing it. But I was thrilled when I got a custom head from one of the prominent customizers that's in the Mythic Legions community, and I just took a couple of pictures of that head on one of the bodies I bought, and next thing you know, she's like, that was a fantastic photo. And then I see another toy community or toy photography Instagram forwarded my picture, and I mean that was freaking awesome. I loved it. Getting into this part of the things with like setting up channels, meeting people in the chat, people that you never would have talked to before, and now we're finding at least a common area we can discuss things with, and then getting to also have the opportunity to talk to people that are actually fulfilling their dream of making a toy. I mean, it's really cool. And that's a fantastic thing. I mean, I never want, like, we're talking about Giant Man. I was in a group of there, some guy saying like, I hope that fails. I'm like, why? Why would you be hoping it to fail? Why would you be hoping someone's Kickstarter doesn't go through? If other people are wanting it, if you're not buying it, why does it matter if it exists? Why bring down somebody else's joy? And
because you're always angry.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, like that kind of mentality, I cannot wrap my brain around. The only time I ever want somebody to fail is if he's trying to fail and take me down. Yeah. Guess what? I'm not buying it. I really haven't bought any Todd McFarlane figures in ages. I have no problem that his stuff's still going on, but it's not like Todd is using the proceeds of his 58th Batman figure to say, I'm tracking this true Starscreamer guy down and going to dedicate a portion of my funds to ruin his life.
Right.
Whatever. As I said, I'm buying Bobby Vala's stuff. I probably can't stand 30% of what that man says. I don't care. He doesn't care about. He could care less about what I think because I'm still buying his stuff. My credit card's still going through to his store. And one of the first things I said when I started the whole figure reaction thing, honestly, Hasbro doesn't owe us anything. They've been getting our money for 30 plus years. And if we stop giving them, there's going to be the next generation of collectors that'll still keep going to them. If they don't live up to my standards, you know what I do? I stop paying for it. I don't wish them to fail.
No, but it's also hard for that too, because I mean, we've also both of us just said, well, Marvel Legends, or anything like that with the gummy weapons and whatnot, but we still buy. So it's sometimes hard to say that we're just going to drop something.
It
You
is.
know,
It's
very hard.
Because it's a codependent, abusive relationship. Okay, man.
Absolutely. We all
Exactly.
and it's a group effort as well, because I wasn't going to get the Valkyries, the Cobra Valkyries, until you and T were like, oh, hey, look at these are cool. And I'm like, damn it, I got to find these freaking Valkyries, and then I paid more than I paid the aftermarket.
Oh, damn.
So,
Sorry.
but that's no, because it was from a friend of ours, so it's all worked out.
But that's not a problem. I mean, what I'm saying though is, let's say the Cobra Valkyries were horrible. What if these,
Well, you
the
had
next
a
line of
question.
figures are the same? If the next wave of figures are the same, all of a sudden a whole bunch of Vipras and Falcons with bad joints, bad faces, bad things like that. Yeah, I'll stop buying the line. If other people keep buying it, cool. But it's not going to affect me anymore.
So you want to feel a bit of YouTube FOMO. Going back to your original question, if peers were like getting I didn't buy the steel core, you did. Do I regret not getting them? With those, no. Yep. But if I want to stay current with what I want to do with my channel and hopefully continue to grow,
yes.
Do I have to buy them?
That's a big factor. Yes, no. That what you're talking about is absolutely true. We're jumping topics here.
Sorry, guys. It's not often we just get to talk. So.
But this is an absolute truth. That is, for reviewers, that is a truth. Do I buy this? I mean, I was collecting Transformers. I still collect Transformers. I don't showcase any of them on my channel. And the sad part is, because I'm not showcasing on the channel, I've got a whole box Transformers because I never got around to opening them because I'm too busy opening everything I'm putting on my channel.
Yeah.
That was a mouthful, I know, but it makes sense, believe me.
And it's easy to fall into it, because like we were saying in the beginning, what I really wanted to do for the channel is work on diorama stuff and get, at the time, my Transformers only collection, and get them looking cool, build a story out of it. And then next thing you know, it's steamrolled, and now my collection habits have changed where it's more action figure centric.
Same.
And even then it's being more diverse.
I can't think of the last third-party robot that I bought that transformed.
Yeah. And Titan, you actually absolutely said it. There is a difference between a reviewer and collector. We can be collectors, but dude, it's when you are talking amongst peers, and when we both have peers on this podcast that are running very successful channels and running through a variety of different things, and it's those type of discussions where you're talking to them, you're like, man, you said, all right, I have a video that I put a lot of time in, and it's bombing. God. I don't know what to do.
My Not a Toys Wukong video, I put so much into that, and it barely did anything. I've got a review for a Figuarts Chainsaw Man. That thing hasn't even broken 40 views, believe it or not.
Yeah. And it's hard, because another challenge we have, I think, and these guys can really, hopefully in the chat can attest to it, is that this niche, we're saying that YouTube as a whole, toy collecting is a very kind of small part, and then you break that onion down a little bit more, it is so challenging to find that one breakout, because you can be collecting Joes, but so are the Shartimuses or the Flooshes or Transformers. You got the Mgos. I mean, you're going at the channel that has like 10 times your viewers, and that can sometimes lead like, okay, well, maybe if I do this figure, if I pick this lineup, maybe it'll work. Maybe this will be the one. And sometimes that's the case. For me, that was the thing with some of these GI Joes, because I started getting them like, man, I forget what this guy was like, and I started doing my little retrospective of the character, and that was hopefully a way for me to be a little different than the guys that are just like, here's the figure, here's the articulation, here's the colors. I like it. Go buy it. I wanted to kind of bring back some of those things, and having access to the cartoons, you can put a snippet in there and not get flagged, but it's like one of those things like Bazooka. I can remember that, you know, the bio card versus the cartoon, two totally different personalities. And so when you kind of weave that into like the figure that you have in front of you, it kind of helps flesh things out a little more.
But the problem also is when you're trying to do something, like again with my photography, for me with the photography, I was trying to do that to set it to be different.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see a guy who's got like no lights, a single mic, no editing, and his channel's got 2,000 views.
Hey, and that's just the way it is, man. I mean,
I know it's a weird thing.
Benjamin, thank you for joining us tonight.
Appreciate it, man.
I'm glad you enjoy your figure that you got, and hopefully catch us next weekend when everyone's back up on the channel, man.
And actually, I want to say this. I think tonight this has been a good discussion. We're semi-rambling, so I kind of want to pull us back on here. This was kind of an impromptu thing, but it is. I think 10 o'clock's a good time for this one.
Yeah, T-Man's watching Loki, so that's why he wanted to skip out.
Loki is more important than us. I'm saying it right now.
I'm okay with that, man. I'm all right. I get to hang out a little bit. It kind of helped de-stress some real life stuff that's going on, and
Tom Hiddleston is so charming. He could write it. He was Taylor Swift didn't even bother writing a song about him. She's just happy that she got to hook up with Loki and moved on.
Yeah.
But
definitely. This was good. It's a little bit of venting. It's a little bit of realism in regards to all the guys and girls that we watch on a daily basis here on YouTube. You know, they have an influence, but they also have their own challenges. And this is just kind of a window of smaller channel guys that still trying to figure out at least for me, I'm still trying to figure out what the hell I want to do. This year too, I want to actually do diorama stuff. I don't want to just keep buying stuff because as I say that, as I'm waiting for a Hiss tank and a Ramen Racer and a Vanguard, I mean, all these vehicles, I don't know where I'm going to put them. No clue. But, that just means I sell some Legends or anything like that.
I'm going to say this. If anything from this conversation, guys, to keep in mind, and I appreciate you guys who've been watching this, who've been staying here for this, it still all boils down to buy what you want to buy. If you like it, you win. Don't get caught up in the drama. This is not East Coast, West Coast rap feuds going on here. If you like YouTuber A and you like YouTuber B, but those two it don't matter. And you don't need to grandstand. You don't need to stick up for your boy. We are adult toy. Wait, that wasn't. We're not collecting adult toys, but we are grown-up collectors here, guys. Let's act like grown-ups. And if that's too much of an issue for you, then maybe you might need a few adult toys for yourself to de-stress.
Or step away, because apparently it's impossible to separate at times, I guess.
That's a huge thing, actually. Yes. There is a time. Go outside. There's a great expression. Go outside, touch grass, breathe in some air, and grow up a little.
Princeton,
we know C and D's are jerks because, well, one's a C and the other's a D.
I'm trying to lose the weight, guys. I'm trying. So, but no,
It's not rated for kids. We're not censored. We're not monetized. Fuck that.
Well, true.
Okay.
Freudian. Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, guys, seriously, thank you very much for joining us this discussion. If you guys like these discussions, put that in the comments. If you guys think this is, hit that like button.
Mhm.
Share this video if you think it's worth sharing. Tell other people about it. Let us know. We've got our own YouTube channels. If you like this kind of stuff, we can do these. This was just like an impromptu reaction. I know I kind of hijacked the figure action thing for this, but if you like reactions like this, I will absolutely do more of these. This was a lot of fun. Mike, thank you so much. As I look over here, pretending I'm looking at you.
Yeah, and you know, I think something we haven't done, but I think some of these other channels and podcasts done. If there are people in the chat that want to hop in, I'm all about impromptu adding people in just to talk about stuff, because after a while it gets tiresome listening to the same guys talk. So, like Titan, if you have stuff that you want to talk about, man, just hop. Let's talk about it, and let's just get in here. So it really makes a difference, I think.
Well, Dare, we appreciate that one video you put out every month. It is the way you get back to the community. So, but
Yeah.
on that note, guys, tune in next week. Wait, is next week? No, next week's not TF. So we'll probably have some really cool stuff.
Oh no, next week. Was next week? I think next week's TFCon. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know we got some guys going down there, right? So they might be down.
They might be.
I know Sony's going down. Obviously, I thought Partsformer is going down.
Well, I've heard that, but that's only because I talked to his girlfriend.
Yeah. So the 20th, 21st, 22nd is Orlando. So for those that are going, I hope you guys have fun.
Yes,
we'll
I will miss you. Wish I could join you. Wish I could have a beer with you guys, but work. Yes, I do have problems with work. But until next time, as always, take care. Peace.
See you guys.